Citizens of Sky Bottom Station, welcome back and thank you for your return. We appreciate your loyalty. I was saving this video for a special occasion, but you know what? I think right now is the special occasion. Many want to know, how do I turn scraps of wood and old junk and broken toys into a station? Or like a world like the one you see behind me. Sky Bottom Station is built upon recycled, old, used scraps of wood, junk, old toys, pieces of lost artifacts that I found out and about, and I found a way to rearrange them and make them look somewhat presentable, almost like a space station. In this video, I will be sharing my top 10 tips, tricks, and some advice on how to world build and how to get a messy pile of junk to look like this. Tip number 1, build on a budget, buy what you need, and let the hobby fund itself. Wait, that was like 3 tips. But when you combine all 3 of those, you'll see why it's all one tip. Don't feel that you need to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to build something that looks exciting and amazing. Sometimes all it takes is a few dollars here and there, finding scrap wood, going to Dollar Tree, going to a thrift store, finding old junk in the garage. Sometimes you don't have to spend money to build a structure. When you want to start building more and more, and let's say your resources and your money is limited, and you have a collection just sitting there in the garage that you haven't touched in ages, maybe you could start selling those and taking the money from that and reinvest it into what you're working on, into your station, and into your world. And as you're world building, make sure you're only buying what you need. You don't have to go out there and buy 50 figures to populate it, because if you only have one building, you don't need 50 figures. It's not going to really make sense. Start with the building and then maybe buy a couple of figures to populate or to visit that building. Don't go out and buy 10 vehicles and you have no room for it. Just buy as you build. So my second tip is to build universally. The way that I build where any figure from any genre could visit that place and it makes sense. I try to build things that are not strictly tied down to one universe. I want my G.I. Joe figures, my Star Wars figures, my reaction figures, my Joy Toy figures to be able to visit the same place and it makes sense. I add little elements from here and there, like you'll see a little bit of Star Wars, you'll see a little bit of Alien, you'll see a lot of different sci-fi within Sky Bottom, just to tie in the universes together, so when you see a mixture of figures and characters from different universes, it makes sense. My third tip is positive affirmations. Many creators get discouraged and we are our own worst critics. We see other people's work and then we look at our work and we say, wow, my work sucks. It's trash, garbage. I'm not building no more. Why should I build? It's ugly, terrible. Throw it away. We are the masters of our own universe. We are the creators. What we see, what we create, and what we create is what is right. And what we create is what's right to us within our world, within our universe. It's not others' job to comprehend what we're creating. If they don't accept what we're creating, then that's it. As long as we're happy and we're satisfied with what we're putting out, that's all that matters. If you don't like my station, if you don't like my planet, if you don't like my city, don't visit it. We have to tell ourselves that our work is good. We have to tell ourselves that we are artists. We have to remind ourselves that we are creators and we know what we're doing. Don't get discouraged. Everything is a process. Like they say, Rome wasn't built overnight. Yeah, it might sound cliche, but guess what? Your first project is not going to look good. Sorry. Even though it doesn't look good, you created it, so it's special to you. It's just a structure. Some structures in some cities are busted down, abandoned, old, and rugged. All it does is just adds character to your civilization. Every piece of work that we create is going to be good, and just remember that. Our work is beautiful. So my fourth tip to you is to open your awareness and surround yourself with other world builders. Become friends with other creators, people that know how to create, people that could share advice with you, people you could actually grow with and learn something from. If you're learning how to build from scratch and you want to build your own station like Skybottom or other stations out there within the multi-galactic trade route, join us. Find us on Instagram at the multi-galactic trade route. Send us a follow, we'll follow you back and we'll discuss. You're not alone, there's others out there. You just have to reach out and search. When you open up your awareness, that old bottle cap is no longer garbage. That's a piece of cargo. That old shoelace is no longer a shoelace. It's a hose for a gas container. Those old scraps of wood in the garage is no longer garbage. You could use that to make a one-sided building facade. So when you open up your awareness, everything could be changed and manipulated into a piece of art that could fit into your station. My fifth tip to you is to live in your world. When you're building a world, the best way to know what to build next is to imagine if you were living there. Look at your station, look at your planet, look at your city. Shrink yourself down to 3.75 and walk around. Can you use the bathroom there? Can you eat there? Where can you go for entertainment? What kind of people are there? Do we need law enforcement? Hopefully not, but maybe you do, but please don't have no police down there. We like to purge. Where are you gonna sleep? When you live in your world, building becomes easier. Just like living in a city. You're like, man, this city is boring. I wish we had this over here, or I wish we had this over there. So when you start living in your world, it's easier to know what to build next. My sixth rule is to share your secrets. Don't be stingy. When I first started building Skybottom, nobody really taught me how to do things. I had to learn on my own. I had to study people's photography and just guess on how I think they did that. A lot of trial and error. When I got into a position to give feedback and help and advice, that's the first thing that I did. I wanted to share all the secrets that I've learned from others and the secrets that I've learned on my own with everybody. You have to be the light you want to see shine. There was not too many people out there giving help and advice in world building for 3.75 because we are a small group, and since we are small, there has to be someone out there helping, giving information, and sharing how they did that and how to get started. Why not that person be you? Why not have your station be the inspiration of somebody else out there? Always help others. That's the best advice. That's probably the most important advice in this video. So my seventh tip, trick, or idea you want to say is to name your station. Name your world. Have characters. Name your characters. Have some type of story. Once you put a name to what you're building and names to characters that you're customizing, it becomes real. It becomes a real life thing. They're no longer toys. They are real life things that you gave a life to. Now it's time for you to cater and to care for them and to build what they need in order to live a happy, fulfilling life on your station. Well, it doesn't have to be happy. Maybe you want a station that only causes terror, death, and fear. Okay, create that for them. Stories, lore, character development, all of that is essential to world building. Tip number 8, the little things. It's all about the little things. The food, the guns, the lightsabers, every little accessories, the mini TVs, the couches, the vending machines, the sodas, video games, anything that you could bring into your station that makes it more real, do it. Having little hot dogs and miniatures, it doesn't matter what it is. Bring it to your station. The best place to grab miniatures is like Michael's or Hobby Lobbies. They have a ton of miniatures. Tip number 9. When it comes to world building and you really want to capture your world and bring it to life, I suggest you practice photography and video. When you photograph your citizens in their stations and create the right aesthetic, when viewers see it, they could imagine and just zoom right into that world and become a part of that world. We have a lot of great ideas out there and it's kind of hard to share. So they always say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So once we become masters at our photography and our videos, that's when we could really start telling our stories and people could really get on board with our world building. So my last and final tip is to be consistent. We are public figures in this hobby. Believe it or not, there's people that's inspired by your work. Even though you may not think it's the best work, there's somebody that's following you on Instagram or even on YouTube and they're saving your photos. And they're going back to your photos and they're learning and trying to replicate what you created. We are somebody's inspiration. There's not too many of us that are world building in 3.75, scratch built, non-foam. Your next post of your station, of your home brew, might inspire the next creator. It might get somebody out of their depression and back into a hobby that they let die. Remember, you don't know who's watching, and there's somebody out there that loves your work. Even when you think your work is the worst, there's somebody that thinks it's the best. I want to see your guys' work. Follow me on Instagram at skybottom_station. Follow me, show me your guys' work. Show me what's inspiring to you. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on there and also reach out to the Multi-Galactic Trade Route on Instagram. I will put both of the links to the Instagrams in this video's description. And if you're a visitor and you want to become a citizen of Sky Bottom Station, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel for active citizenship, legal documentation of citizenship, so that way you don't get banned